All right. Certain things are just going too far. We going too damn far. I hope they're not trying to play this game. This is ridiculous. I don't want to hear none of this Dillion Gabriel stuff. Shedeur Sanders, third string. They talking about they had Dillion Gabriel going in before. Stop playing games with me, Cleveland Browns. Stop playing games. Let's stop playing games. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit the bell notification, hype the video. Be greatly appreciated. I don't know what the hell is going on, but this here is courtesy of Cleveland Browns podcast, The Dogs. Okay, Nick Padone expressed his concern that whoever loses the Browns quarterback battle might not be the team's QB2. This is what he had to say. It feels like Dillion Gabriel might be the backup QB independent of what happens with the starting quarterback position. Padone pointed out to the increase in second-team reps for Gabriel during the last several days of camp. That is what he had to say. And then this was also pointed out. Dillion Gabriel is up in the second round of 7-on-7s behind Deshaun Watson, not Shedeur. So, they're saying that Shedeur got to go up once. Basically, Dillion got to go up more than Shedeur. So I don't know, man. It's kind of ridiculous, though. I just think it's very, very ridiculous. I don't like it. I don't like it. They said Shedeur only went one time. Deshaun and Gabriel have gone twice during 7-on-7. So I don't know, man. It sounds like some fishy stuff might be going on. Hopefully, this is more to do about nothing. Zac Jackson joined Ken Carman, Anthony Lima to talk about this situation and what's going on. Let's take a listen.
Now, on the Wise Heart Right, we make it right. Call Kyle Wright Hotline. Good morning to Zac Jackson. Hello, Zac.
Hi, guys. How we doing?
We're doing wonderful, or about as wonderful as we can, talking to you in the morning, but you're a man who spits the truth the way you see it. So let me ask you this. If Shedeur isn't the starting quarterback, are we keeping him all year? There were some crazy things said yesterday amongst social media and everything like that.
Shedeur's going to start a lot of games at quarterback this year. I'm not sure that's going to be in September. I don't know how many. I don't know how it's going to go, but that seems like a wild scenario to me, to where he would be traded. Now, we have not begun the preseason except for one game, and I'm sure you wept during that game seeing how much better Carson Beck looked than what you see every day out of Berea, but I just don't really see a scenario where the Browns move on from Shedeur Sanders.
What's your problem? I said Carson Beck proved a lot that last year at Miami. I said that last year, and I wasn't a huge fan of his.
It was jarring to watch him throw and compared to what we watch every day.
The Hall of Fame game, Zac?
Yeah.
I call that one ball hospital ball. That's just me. That's just me. Go ahead, ask him a question.
All right, Zac. So what did you make of the brand new first-time head coach and the way that he handled the quarterback situation and the messaging about the quarterback situation? And do you think, as a media member, Todd Monken owes you the truth?
Well, it was strange for sure. I'm not going to make too much of it because I still don't get why they messaged it that way on Saturday or Monday. But I'm not going to make too much of it because it's all madness, Anthony. It just really is. So why he would expect anyone, media member or not, to believe the way he said it yesterday, I don't know. But it's his right. It's his quarterback competition. It's a root canal, and he chose to do it. But it's all madness. Like, they're about to put Deshaun Watson back on the football field in 2026. It's all madness. So, it might be something we look back on, but I really don't think it is. I really think it was an unexpected twist that they just didn't want to talk about. And, it's back to things at hand. I do think he was going to make his starting announcement yesterday before that happened. But again, I'm guessing. I don't know. Just really strange, but another day in the life out there.
Starting announcement just for the game against the Bears on Saturday?
Yeah.
Who do you think he's going to start? You think it'll be Watson?
Yeah. I feel pretty strongly it's going to be Watson there. And the other thing we haven't really talked about, even though we talked about everything, is like, even if Shedeur was clearly ahead, and he's not, like, Watson still has to play in the preseason. He hasn't played in 2 years. So if he's at all in the plans, at all in the possibilities, he has to play. So I just think the most sensible thing is you start Watson. He plays a couple of series. Then Shedeur comes in, You haven't scripted anything. You don't know what those opportunities will bring. He gets to watch the game early from the side, and then he comes in and plays a much longer period of time. And then you pencil him in as the starter, and you see how next week goes. So we're 11 practices in, but in terms of the next 10 days or so, 2 preseason games and a joint practice, and now away from the installation stage, I really think it's just getting interesting. So I think the best stuff, or the most important stuff, is yet to come.
Zach, we're always looking for the little things or the breadcrumbs. Do you see the players responding to one quarterback over the other, or the coaches maybe more supportive or coaching one up over the other? Have you been able to notice any difference?
No, not really. The number one difference that I noted, there are different things about the way Todd Monken runs practice compared to we watched the same coach for 6 years, right? But the number one difference being out there every day for every throw is the wide receiver play. The juice that those guys have and the way they occasionally make the big plays, but just in general, just the route running and the giving it a chance, whether it works or not, is the number one difference. But no, I would be really stretching to say that I noticed anybody getting coached differently or anything being different. There's times I'm watching for who Todd Monken is talking to and how he's talking to them, things like that. But I that would really be a stretch in terms of saying that.
Are we sure that Monken makes the call at quarterback?
Well, are we sure? I don't know. I think we better be sure. I think it should be. Now that leads to another discussion of doesn't someone have to jump in the way and say you can't possibly put Deshaun Watson back out there? You're unburdened by the past, but the rest of it, cry over it every day is what the conversation should go. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that he makes the call, and I'm the one thing I'm sure about here on August 11th or whatever day it is 3 quarterbacks are going to start for the Cleveland Browns this year. The level of play is just not any good. It's not, and this is going to be an evaluation year. So there is a good number of good young players on this team, and this year is about developing and evaluating them. It doesn't mean they're only going to win 2 or 3. I don't know how many they're going to win, but multiple quarterbacks are going to play. I'm convinced of it.
Do you think people are accepting that?
I think some of the people I talk to are accepting of it. I think most people have a rational grasp on this. I think people should be excited about the wide receivers. I think the defense, looks good and has really given these guys, the quarterbacks, the coach, everybody, a push every day. I think there's a good tempo and energy to training camp, but there's no depth on this team. This team is going to be half first and second year players, and it's probably going to be bottom 5 quarterback play. So I don't know why anybody would expect any different.
Does Dillion Gabriel factor into any of these conversations at all, or are we just riding things out until he's out of here one way or another?
Well, I don't think he's going to be out of here. Let me say this. A week ago, Watson looked unplayable, guys, and that has totally changed. But he looked so bad. And he has thrown it better. He has thrown it much, much better on all the days but one. Now, when he throws over the middle, it still looks like it's going to be a pick six every time. But if you're watching every throw and every drill and charting every rep like we obviously are, the one thing you've noticed is that Dillion Gabriel is getting work with the twos. But that's what he is. He's a backup